coming at you live from the depths of the Hive. We are back, and it's Saturday morning.
Nothing like the first cup of dumpster juice in the morning.
Aí vem pra jogar, velho. Que porra é essa? Ai, caralho, vai tomar no cu, porra. Que desgraça é essa? Que porra é essa também? Ai, pastorilinha. Ai, caralho. Que porra é essa, filha da puta? Caralho. Mano, João, essa porra é um mutante. Vai tomar no cu. Morre, desgraça. Vai tomando. Okie dokie. Come on. Son, I'd like you to step away from this vector and get into a different coordinate pronto.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We are live from the Hive. I almost started with myself on mute there. It's been a minute since I've used this system, but I am back on my OBS. I am so stoked about that, by the way. Absolutely thrilled that I am back on my system, back with my screens and my channel art that I made myself, all this custom stuff that I did that makes the Hive the Hive. Because when I was doing live from the Hive before, I was doing it on StreamYard, which is the plain black StreamYard background, and then I was going in when I re-released them, what Ring calls my direct-to-video selection of cutting up the segments from live from the Hive. I was adding my channel art then, so one way or the other, I was getting it on the videos, but it wasn't with live from the Hive. And this is my favorite part of live from the Hive is having all the little transitions and edited videos that I make. I'm an editor first. That's my real passion. I like editing the videos, the bug videos, the woo videos, whatever it takes. While I was out though, it gave me time to work on some stuff. So you're going to see a lot of new stuff that was edited in little videos and clips and stuff thrown together that weren't able to be shown on Live from the Hive before, because I'd have to go basically with whatever shorts I could find on YouTube and things like that, which gets a little tricky because it doesn't go to... Yes, I am having some cold weather this morning, no doubt about it. But I'm keeping warm, and this looks cute, this vest and the hat. I was thinking about wearing this outfit to Thanksgiving with the turtleneck and stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? So that's what it looks like. Oh, I'm going to pull these up. There you all can see my Y'all can see my little belly there for a second. This outfit is super cute, though. I was thinking about wearing it to Thanksgiving at my grandparents'. If I can get away with it, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but we are quite frigid here in the upper Midwest this morning. Let me see, what is the temperature right now? It is currently 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So freaking cold. That's 4 degrees below freezing. So do not leave your beer sitting outside right now, kids. No matter how hard you're partying this Saturday morning. Yeah, I'm actually wearing my big woolly socks right now. I do need more big woolly socks. Yeah, I was looking at, because they had some spring socks that were all like different bees and stuff on them, that were on clearance. I had them on my cart because they were, they had clearance from spring, and it was like in fall when I found them. And then they sold out of them like right before I placed my order. So I had all these cute bee socks that just gone. No big fluffy socks for me. So, but I mean I do have fluffy socks, but they're all, I'll be frank with you, they're all men's socks, and I'm not fond of wearing them. But it is what it is. Oh, Captive Desk has me beat by 8 degrees. Pretty chilly there. Yes, thank you, Sandy. Sandy says that the quality's good, the sound is good. Let me know today, though, guys, if when I'm watching a video, if the video is really low and I'm really at a parity with me, because I rewatched my Tearzu video and I could barely hear Tearzu at all. So shout at me, scream at me, whatever you gotta do. We can't hear. Our video is really soft, and I will do everything I can to make sure I maximize the volume on it so that it shows up as good as possible moving forward. Because Tearzu, the first part, is going to be an editing headache, going through and balancing the volume. I might need some volume to go through the volume on that one. But yes, the video gets low. Yeah. And his video is top notch quality. Tearzu is an amazing editor. I wish I was half the editor Tearzu is. So any issues when I'm doing somebody like that, definitely it's on my end where the problem's coming. But I do live too. Doc Fearsome calling in from, when you all shout out your cold weather today, just put the 2-character state you're in. Don't I'm not asking you to dox yourself or anything. Let me know where it's cold at. I see 39 degrees for One Ring 42, and that is, I mean, if you think about it, probably warm compared to where you were living this time of year last year. Maybe not though. I don't know. One Ring used to live in Montana, and I imagine right now it's pretty chilly in Montana. But Doc Fearsome's calling in 19. Yeah, Ring's 39 so far. That's downright tropical there. Yep, 20 in for Captive Desk. Doc Fearsome's 19. I was 28. Yeah, and Ring's in Maryland now. Captive Desk is in Ohio. 24 in Indiana. All right, it was in the 20s this morning, but now in the sun it's 49. That sounds freaking wonderful coming in from North Carolina with Sandy. Enjoy these this is I believe, yeah, this is the last week of no, it's not the last week of, always forget that December is actually a fall month. I was gonna say this is the last week of fall. It's really not. Fall doesn't end until like December 21st. But as far as culturally speaking, Thanksgiving is the end of fall, and at least in U.S. culture. And to my UK audience out there, I don't mean to disclude you or dissuade you. But yeah, that's how we do it here in the U.S. Black Friday is the first day of winter culturally here. But that's how it is. It's like, school now starts at the end of August. It used to start at the beginning of September, but regardless, the start of school was the end of summer, and then the start of summer vacation was the start of summer, despite what the calendar would show culturally. That's how we do it. Yeah, and let me know what you think of the new reels in the background too. I just try to keep things fluid and buggy. Robbie, Math Pig, was hanging out with me last night while I was playing with BugBot and getting them all programmed and set up, and we were talking about the channel content. I'm like, oh man, because people sometimes call my channel a bug channel. It is a bug channel. I'm a bug lady. I don't. Bugs is just one of my bugs are just the hobby that I and the aesthetic of my channel. The main theme of this channel is I'm a science-based debunking channel. I mean, first and foremost, and then because that's what CryptoCorner and Creation Watch are founded on. Those are the foundations. I'm a skeptic debunking channel with a bug theme. So we're gonna hone in on that too. I'm the buggy person, yes, but we also do science and all kinds of fun stuff here. So stick around if this is the kind of content that you are into. I'm a little bit long into the show, but obviously with the OBS back, I have a lot of housekeeping to go over because the format of the show, I was already working on upgrading the format of the show to have intermissions between the segments of just edited videos that I've made or that my friends have made. That's actually what I was, I would like to maybe if I could get a track from Oz, a track from Tobin, for a musical interlude. I could include that in there, or I could even make music videos to their songs. Yeah, so those are my friends who are musicians. So if I could do that between rebunking, if you will. Yes, that's exactly right, Ring. So yeah, if you are a content producer and would like, you have a funny segment from your channel, okay? Either a short, even a channel trailer, if you have a short comedy sketch video, if you have even like something profound, like an argument that you make or whatever. Thank you, Jenna. Love you, dear. Yeah, anything like you have a TikTok that you wanna get out there, whatever. Send me the link, and I'm doing these intermissions. There'll be intermissions between each segment. Will be depending on how much content I have. It will always be between 2 and 5 minutes. I will go over 5 minutes only in special circumstances for like a musical track or something that lasts longer than 5 minutes. I can go, up to, 8-minute long songs if I need to. Not encouraging, don't send me your 8-minute long song. If you're going to send me a song, send me something within that time frame. And we're going to do, and I do my own edited videos too. So we're gonna see those as well, and yeah, no, you don't get to get away, Sandy. No. Send me just the slidey, like the one I looked at the other day, and I think you went public with it. I'm not like calling you out to say, because whenever you're ready, I'll give you I'll if you ever decide you want to, you'll have a exclamation point. Sandy that people can type in to get whatever content that you're putting out, babe. Just let me know. I don't want to pressure you, so it's at your discretion. But I'd love to have just a little scroll in between my segments of maybe some of your stained glass, just a little pop through. absolutely. I'd be stoked to have that, so make no mistake about it. Now, yeah, as far as the intro goes, the streak, I am going to be adding people onto there, so be on lookout for that as well, because that's something that you may see or find yourself appearing in if you're in the side chat and you're a friend of the channel. Currently, we do have some people in the side chat who are already on the intro scroll, like Ring out there yeah, Ring's kind of one of my besties though. We talk a lot well, not a lot. I mean, sometimes we talk and sometimes we don't. That's what a real friend is, though. They understand life gets in the way. And I know Ring's been moving around a lot, or moving lately. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Maya. It's I woke up cold. Our furnace does this thing at night, and I'm when it comes to old-timey programming, like VCR style programming, where hold this button and press this button and all that, I suck at it, and it makes me want to cry. And but every night my furnace, sometime in, like at 6 a.m. it turns off. It's like programmed to just cut off. I imagine that the person who lived here before me probably went to work at that time, so they had the furnace or air or whatever cut off at that time, so that it wasn't running while they were gone, and then kick on probably like an hour or two before they got home, right? So yeah, it drops down to and I don't know how to fix it, so every morning I have to get up freezing, or I have to, and I bundle up in the morning and slowly strip down as the day goes on. Yeah, because it gets warm as it warms up through the morning. But in the first thing in the morning, I'll be in my big warm fleecy jammies and have my. It's not really a robe. It's only, I would like a robe. It's this thing. You probably see me in it sometimes. I take pictures in it a little bit because I like the way the white fluffy frames my face when I wear the hood. I'm getting off on a tangent. We're almost 25 minutes into the show, and I haven't even got into CryptoCorner yet. So the show is going to have a longer run time now. We are probably going to definitively go till noon every day, so you don't have to stay for the long haul. If you have a segment that you prefer to hang out and watch elsewhere, I'm not offended if you don't stick around, if you're not able to watch the whole live from the Hive. Of course, it doesn't matter if I'm offended or not. That's the way the free market works. But yeah, and I will still I'm going to have the schedule. Let me wrap this up real quick. I'm still going to have the schedule. I have Bugbot, and we'll be dropping the current schedule as it stands. The buzz is when I have a guest on. Usually I've been doing them either Tuesdays or Thursday evening because I don't have anything else going on those nights. But I am also doing them on Sundays as needed. So, yeah, that is the schedule as things are right now. Now, as far as my videos, when I go into like creationist rooms and things like that, or crypto rooms and that sort of stuff, I've been calling them HiveSci, but I was thinking about calling it the Sting. Let me know if you guys, which one you guys prefer. I was also thinking about shortening the full channel name just to HiveSci, just for the @ that way it's easier for people to @ me, and just HiveSci, all one word, as opposed to Hive Space Science where I am right now. So I think that's probably a good idea to do. The channel full name is still going to be HiveScience, but it'll be HiveSci for short. And I think that's gonna it makes sure that I stay unique as well, and that I don't lose. That was why I jumped on the HiveScience, because no one had used that name before, and many people had used the name Brainbug when I jumped on that. Because that was just, when I came into the world as Brainbug, it was my side chat. Yeah, Yeah, I'm just being lazy. We haven't had to turn the heater on. There hasn't been too much of a problem because the cold's been like, when I wake up in the morning, it'd be like 70 or 70 or 68 or something like that, which is not terribly cold. I get cold like that because I don't have any insulation, but Ian loves it when it's cold like that because he's a teenager and has a lot of blood pumping and is a very active child. Anyway, yeah. So I don't think that our normal housekeeping at the beginning of the show is going to be a half an hour. It's just today because of the updates now that I have my OBS and I can schedule my show. Yes. And yeah. Anyway, let's get on to it. So in Cryptic Corner, we are going to go back down the alien life form rabbit hole. So, yes. So, welcome to Cryptic Corner. Today, we are once again looking out beyond the stars into the great beyond, where, unbeknownst to us lay folks in the civilized world, we are being watched and interacting with and trading with a multitude of alien entities. Now, these groups are many and varied, and only certain elite members of society who can channel them psychically or who worked in the military and interacted with them directly know the secrets of these alien entities. And this is going to be one of many dives into the alleged extraterrestrial species that live in the far reaches of our universe. Because people interact with them apparently. So let's dive right in to Cryptic Corner's very first alien profile. There we go. Oh, not that one. Hold on. I need this one. Bear with me. Still remembering my navigation. There we go. That's the one I want. So we're going to start off with Hybrid Rising. This is a website that chronicles the interactions with alien beings, and the very first one we're going to dive into, and I think you all can understand completely why I want to dive in and start with this alien species, is the mantis insectoid alien beings, also sometimes identified as the ant people or ant-men from Hopi legend. So the let's and again, this is they have all the alien species you could ever want to know facts about. Check it out. We have our blonde Nordic beings, our reptilians. We're going to get to these people. Don't worry. We're going to blast through these guys. These are what Bree would call, but of course I'm not a channeler, so what do I know? But these are what I would call sleep paralysis demons, but yeah, which are a construct of your mind. You get the hybrids and the grays and the brown dwarf aliens and there's our mantis insectoids that we're talking about today. But and the classification of grays, because there's so many different kinds of gray aliens. As you see, they have all this along the side here, all the different bizarreness that these people claim exist in the cosmos. Typhorian. What did I say? I didn't see Typhorian on there. You don't want to be a Mobius. They got different articles that you can read out here. Oh yeah, we're gonna revisit this place. This is a woo haven. But we got videos too. Don't worry. We do have videos that we're responding to today. Matter of fact, I got to get through this pretty quick. I'm not going to read this whole thing. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to move this into a different tab, and we're going to use this as a reference guide as we move through the claims being made in some of these videos. These being here, but here I'm going to read just a description here, okay? And then we're going to go into a video. These beings have long, narrow faces with long, narrow, large eyes, sharply slanted upward and outward in an almost narrow V position, giving an almost insect-like appearance. That almost is doing a lot of work in this sentence. The comparison is heightened by the praying mantis type, extremely thin, long torso, long, extremely thin arms, which are usually crooked or crooked, maybe it's supposed to be crooked into a sharp bend at the mid joint, with the hands and fingers sloping almost vertically downward from the wrist. The legs also bent in an almost right angle at the mid joint, creating a crouched pose. The overall effect of this characteristic, is that the right spelling of effect? I thought that would be affect. Okay, anyway, the praying mantis's look. It should be noted that experiencers feel that this type is no insect, but rather an intelligent, gentle-spirited, and jerky-moving human-like life form. There are both males and females. And how much of their behavior is mantis-like? Because you wouldn't think that mantises, of all the... they'd have to go through a lot of physiological changes to become a intelligent species to the point where they were... they would have to go... mantises... I'm talking about mantises we have on Earth, because they are solitary predators, right? They are... they're more like a leopard than a lion, I guess, is a way to look at it. Or if we're looking at like primates. So yeah, because it's a good comparison though, because Blattodae and Mantodae are the two sister orders. That means that they're closely related to each other. Blattodae is the cockroaches and termites. That's that group. And mantises are a sister clade to that, or an outgroup to that group. They are basically one group went the direction of ground-dwelling, or mostly ground-dwelling scavenger, and the other one went and focused on the roaches focuses on digesting cellulose, but then the mantises went to a ambush predator lifestyle. Now, ambush predators do not tend to develop social intelligence. They can have some solitary intelligence, and obviously they can have a certain level of what we call street smarts with surviving in their habitat. But yeah, they're not moving. Generally, ambush predators don't move towards social intelligence, where they start teaching culture and things like that. I could see that happening with cockroaches before I could see that happening with mantises. So just an interesting observation. But anyway, let's get into our first video about these guys. And if it's boring, we actually have about 45 minutes of content on this, because we have this one, which is a little under 12 minutes. And then, what is this one?
probably one of the strangest.
Oh, this one's a compilation video though, so that makes it a little bit easier because there's 3 videos in this one, but it's 21 minutes long, and then if we need to, or if we have time, I got a little 2-minute segment of this video that's about the mantises. That's all that's in here. This was the first thing I found, but I wanted to understand these insect beings. I actually originally started looking into this as a digging into the Hopi ant-men or ant people. I thought there was more modern time, and that's due to these insectoid claims, because a lot of them link these beings with the Hopi ant-man, and we'll probably see that too. But let us dive into this right here. All right. There we go. And guys, like I said about the volume, let me know.
In a universe with so many unanswered questions, the vast stretches of the unknown and the unanswered and the unfinished still far outstripe our collective comprehension. We will shed light onto the darkness. We will explore the universe to find what is really out there. We are the disclosure. We are the Order of Light.
Yep, so the Order of Light is who we're watching. Definitely, I should start doing that at the beginning of my videos. We are HiveScience. I guess I do. This is live from the Hive. Now, I'm gonna try. I've been trying to start saying good morning, beauties and bees, but I always forget. I just think that sounds cute. Good morning, beauties and bees. This is Bree. We are live from the Hive. Order of Light sounds culty. Yeah.
Hello, it's Robert Earl White with the Order of Light here today to talk.
That is awesome. He should do like a rap on that. This is Robert Earl White with the Order of Light, here to talk to you tonight about the mantis aliens.
About the Acara, the mantis, insectoid extraterrestrials that come from the M104 Sombrero Galaxy
All right, hold on. Let's see here. I'm not letting them get away with anything, so they're gonna be stopping a lot. So we're talking M104 Sombrero Galaxy. Ooh, it's pretty. Oh. Let me show you guys.
Ag 8.3.
Oh. Here, I'll show you just a second. Yeah, pretty cool. Sombrero Galaxy. See where it gets its name. Moving on.
They call it the Sombrero Galaxy because it looks like a sombrero. Found here are many other forms of insectoid extraterrestrial species. The Acara mantis aliens are perhaps the most mysterious and unsettling of all the extraterrestrial species.
Well, because I think mantises are adorable, though. That's been my opinion. I mean, they have little personalities. They act like they want to be held and stuff. You can... Yes. And yeah, it sounds good, though, guys.
Let's take a deeper look. My good friend Elena Danan, in her book A Gift from the Stars, Alien Races, categorizes the Acara mantis into 3 subspecies. The green subspecies have 2 thin legs, long tubular butts with wings, and yellow eyes with narrow...
Tubular butts. I guess that would be the abdomen. They don't really look... They have exoskeletons. It doesn't. What's the important thing I don't understand about these. Do they have exoskeletons? Do they have endoskeletons? I need to know.
vertical splits in them. They are enslaved to the Orion and Gray collectives. The white subspecies are much taller with ring necks, 3 pairs of legs, pointy appendages, and mandibles that hang from the sides of their mouth. Also enslaved to the Zeta Reticuli Grays and Orion alliances.
So the Zeta Reticulans, that is what they call the gray aliens, right? And looks like the mantises are that much like humans, they are divided by race, and it looks like culturally. I'm cozy, Mark. This is my cozy. Look, got my cozy coffee cup. Hold on, pull myself up. Take a snapshot of me. Good morning. I know it's not morning down there, Mark, but I love to see you in my side chat. Mwah! It's good to see you, babe. Let's get back into it, because I don't teach you all about the insectoid aliens. Who will? I don't warn you. If I don't alert you to their presence. Yeah, Ring and I agree with you. They don't look like the joints and stuff don't look right for. So insects are covered with cuticle. They're covered with chitin that grows from a cuticle, like your fingernails. But their whole body's covered with it, right? I think you can think of an insect as having basically fingernails, or not fingernail all over its body. Now, chitin's a little different than what we have for our fingernails, which is keratin, but they serve the same purpose. They grow from a cuticle. It's basically a chemical compound that hardens as it two fluids mix together within a membrane. That's the bottom line, and what the main thing you need to understand about a cuticle. Fills a membrane area with two chemicals that it pumps through its body when it comes out of a molt, and then those harden. And that's why when you have a bad molt, you're screwed, because if it hardens where your body's in a position where you can't, where your physiological functions are not being allowed, like for instance, a mantis with a bent abdomen can no longer digest food, you're not going to die, or you're not going to die. You are going to die. You're not going to make it. But yeah, there's my insects. There's my bug science for you. Yeah, well, and Brian Stevens says, odd they are social. Usually social insects use a caste system. And I mean, I don't know that these aren't a caste system, but the way he describes their interactions with each other doesn't sound like it. It actually sounds like they're maybe different species or different derived species. So you could consider this, instead of looking like different haplogroups from Earth, it's more like looking at maybe 200, 300,000 years ago, when there was more variety of humans on the face of the Earth. Like you could say it was Homo erectus, or not Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Homo neanderthalensis, and then like a Denisovan or Floriensis, Homo floriensis. Floriensis, is that right? Am I saying? I feel like I'm dropping a whole. Yeah. Anyway, moving on, because I'm going to get into playing pronunciation games here, and we're never going to get through this.
The black subspecies is some sort of humanoid hybrid, and they do not work for the Orion and Gray collectives, but are rather working for their own scientific curiosity and programs, also assisting the Terran species of consciousness awakening. Elena also states that there is a noticeable absence of notions such as bad or good. Their ethic code is rather based upon.
I do like the way that one looks on the left here, though, with the one with the white eyes. That looks wicked. If there was an insectoid alien, I would probably expect it to look more like that, and less like the straight up mantis that you see there on the right. just something more convergent with insectoids, because you can see that this definitely has an endoskeleton.
What is useful and logical and what is not. Because of this reason, these peaceful beings will take part willingly in many different alliances. In a common abduction scenario, the mantis are generally seen as overseers. A mantis being will be accompanied by several small gray extraterrestrial species, such as the Zeta Reticuli, who seem to do...
I like how they superimposed just like a cartoon praying mantis head over an alien body here.
Their bidding. These small grays are assumed to be drone beings controlled by a hive mind and used by many other species as well. The mantis are commonly involved in abductions that both include medical
Here the aliens are doing their thickness research on titties. You see they got their titty map right here, and examining her titties right now. These aliens are. This guy's cheesing for us. So he's just like really happy about it. Cool stuff. But yeah, they say that these guys, that the gray aliens are drone-like. I don't know.
Procedures and instances of interrogations. However, some return from their experiences with the mantis with a darker point of view, stating that the mantis wished to conquer and control Earth rather than aid of its human ascension, and they believe that the mantis are a part of a hybridization program currently taking place to use human DNA to create new species. As Elena mentioned before, the green and white subspecies are enslaved to many other alliances and collectives. Due to this, although they may be peaceful, at the end of the day, you have to ask, who are these beings working for? Where you have the black subspecies, which does not take part in things like this. Prior to this recent involvement, mantis have had little to do with Earth other than gifting the planet with their prey, a mantis insect that has sense of...
So, this is the thing too. Right here is where they claim that these beings seeded our planets with praying mantises. Now, if you're going to say that these insect beings seeded our planets with insects, that's fine. I mean, that's okay. If you're going to say that they seeded our planet with praying mantises specifically, we're going to have to account for the relationship, genetically speaking, between mantises and other dictopterans, which includes roaches and termites, right? So we have ancestors of both the mantis lineage and the cockroach lineage, and we can see where they diverge from each other. We can see ancestors of both that will ancestors of both that kind of converge and look similar, right? And then they go back to a common ancestor. So that'd be kind of weird. Yeah, I added you to Bugbot's repertoire, Big Bad Mama, and I was talking earlier about how I wanted to. I'm doing intermissions between my segments now, and I would play comedy shorts, or if anybody has a TikTok that they want me to share, or a song that they produced, you can hit me up. My email is in the description below. I did get your email, Big Bad Mama. I'm sorry I was slow to respond to it. It's been a hectic week. But yeah, let's continue on with the insectoids, because we've got a lot to get through here.
Evolved into many glorious colors. These little creatures hold a special energy of their mantis parents, and it's no wonder that they are revered by many and are often seen as positive omens. The involvement with Earth, the mantis are assisting and in many ways overseeing the Zeta Reticuli programs and human spiritual advancement projects. They are
human spiritual advancement projects.
are assuring that the universal principles are adhered to, as well as giving their expertise in frequency alignment. They are artists of the hybrid process, if you will. They are often seen in the background of abduction experiences, and they are usually the 4th and 5th D mantis beings. But other ones are guided by their higher dimensional kin who play a part in their spiritual guidance. Akara are masters in the science of vibrational frequency.
I like that.
And
It's right
sonic
there, though.
technologies.
I want that for my channel. That image right there with the mantis and the eyes and the planets behind it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Eyes are able to see in multiple different light spectrums, and they have a sense of sonar.
I think I could actually do
this
something like
makes
that with
the
some overlays and
Akara
stuff.
mantis species extremely valuable to many other fractions, such as the Orion Empire and even the Galactic Federation of Worlds. These beings are amazing at keeping planets in the correct frequency and using their...
See, here's a lot of this woo-woo language, right? Keeping it in frequency and all this I call it flowery language. I get called out for saying that because I think there's more common terminology that you can use to describe what they're talking about. What they're talking about here doesn't exist, though. Keeping the vibrations of the planets and the galaxy and the spiritual vibrations in order and all that good stuff. Mark Reed says, "Oh, by the way, your praise room incursion was absolutely amazing." Yeah. What I do is I stay kind. I don't try to force my beliefs on other people, but I do try to understand their beliefs. So when I go into someone else's house, as long as they're not disrespecting me directly, then I'm not going to have a problem with it. I mean, again, I put my pronouns right there on my name so that nobody feels the need to if someone does feel a need to misgender me, they're doing it on purpose at that point. So they were respectful about that. That's that's the limit. That's all I want. It's just the human decency to address me and engage with me properly. They did that. I don't always get that from that demographic, and I don't want to shoehorn those people into a demographic because most of them are I don't have any personal grief with. I don't have any personal I don't have any problem with praise. I don't have any no personal problem with praise. I don't have any issues with Sky Out and the rest of those people I hadn't met. Olive and Sparrow, I don't know them. I don't have any beef with them. I don't think I knew anybody else there. Little fact about me: I have the ability to receive messages through an implant in my brain from aliens in the Zeta Reticuli star system. Oh yeah, we talk a lot about the Zeta Reticuli over here in CryptoCorner because those are the most common
sonar capabilities,
aliens.
helping keep balance within that consciousness of that planet. They have been helping alongside of many other species for thousands of years now, doing this very same thing. Now let's take a look about what our ancient history says about them. Our ancient ancestors have had encounters with insectoid beings for a long time.
Now we're going to talk about
mantis people in Zimbabwe.
Now we're going to talk about mantis people in ancient history, Zimbabwe.
Painting Trzynski, the Cataclysm, you can see this mantis being. According to Bushman legend, animals could talk and were indistinguishable from humans, the first people who were legendary ancestors of the present-day Bushmen. On occasion, UFO abductees have seen mantis-like beings who were assisting the Greys, but looking closely at these...
I don't believe these are all Bushman art, but I may be mistaken. I think I was thinking these ones on the far right were Native American, but again, I could be greatly mistaken.
paintings, they seem to be an integral part of our civilization. Ancient people said these insectoids lived in dark caves and would communicate with certain tribes. They
And I don't, yeah, and it even
refer
shows
to them
a picture of people wearing the the headdresses and stuff that they're talking about here. So then they act like
as the ant people, as you can see here in these petroglyphs in Bellows Fall.
maybe they
Vermont.
just drew a mantis,
Also,
right? Why does it have to be a
traditional
humanoid?
ceremonial costume, also showing these antennas.
This is the early era Loki. These are the first two variants of Loki.
Is it possible that our ancient ancestors had direct contact with these mantis beings? As I mentioned before, due to their telepathic abilities, sonic and color vibrational frequencies, they have been sought.
Color and sonic vibration frequencies. Those are things. That's just made up terms. That's not a a real measurement of or a real ability that any organism has. Anasazi, yeah.
After by the Orion Alliances and the Orion Empire. Unfortunately, these are peaceful beings, but at the will of the Orion Empire, they have used insectoid genetics in order to make cloned armies, and other species, such as some reptilians and greys, use the mantis's DNA in order.
I do like this character concept, though. I mean, what I see here reminds me of character concept. Especially this one right here, where it gives it some little, what I would expect to see on an insect that had scaled up to this large, is that they'd have smaller chitin plates to allow for more fluid movement, just due to the necessary on a human scale, the necessity of being able to perform facial expressions and things like that. I don't know. I think it looks cool.
In order to upgrade their species' abilities. In most cases, these are scientists held captive by more hostile beings that use them to do their task and their bidding, such as alien abductions and DNA experiments.
And you got to remember when they're talking about these species, where it's like it's almost like a role-playing game for these people, because the alien species are like the character classes in a role-playing game, right? Like elves and dwarves and things like that. So they give them skill sets and things, and that's not how real civilizations work. They're applying social stereotypes. So I'm not saying they can't have social stereotypes, but is there no individuality with any of these alien races?
On behalf of the Orion Empire and the Orion Alliances. Fortunately, higher density mantis beings are not associated with these alliances. Now we are going to watch this news clip of an 8-foot tall praying mantis alien declared real by experts. This picture was captured in Taiwan.
Here we
and
go.
It's really incredible.
From
These
Taiwan.
beings are very, very tall, up to 9 feet, and they exist in multiple different densities, from the 3rd density going up to the 9th density. Now with this photo, you can see almost like a shadow of it being casted. I believe this is due to these beings' density, and when they come within this light.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had the clip of Crispin Glover saying, "You are my density," from Back to the Future, when he keeps saying that.
Spectrum and frequency, they can kind of cast this shadow.
You know, I do
due
have,
to
though.
our
I have
camera's
this.
visibility in the light spectrum. They had their scientists look and review this. It's actually
Their scientists
quite phenomenal.
reviewed this.
They said this being was extremely large, and you can see it pretty clear. It matches the descriptions of what we have been going over. It seems like some
And I'm going to be
sort
frank
of
with you, I don't know what
giant
this
white
is,
or green species.
but I don't know why.
My guess would it's a big old
I don't know why we would, why we're jumping to mantis alien on this image. It doesn't look particularly mantis-like to me.
green one, and there are higher density beings of mantis, and who knows what it could be. But check this out. This was on major news over there. The mantis are often encountered wearing long robes in a variety of colors, perhaps signifying rank, while some are...
Or maybe they just have freaking style, because I would love to start... I keep telling people I'm going to start wearing capes. I'd like to get capes with different butterfly wings. That'd be so cool. Or different bug wings and stuff like that. That'd be so lit to have like a monarch butterfly cape, or a blue morpho cape, an admiral cape.
Unclothed. Although the mantis tend to communicate with human abductees using telepathic messages, they have been witnessed engaging one another.
When I had mantises, I know enough about mantis behavior to make people think I have telepathic abilities with them, or make people think that they understand me, because I know how to influence their behavior to some extent, just from years of handling them and dealing with them and raising them. So, yeah, Bree has it down. I'll be your Huckleberry.
Using an auditorial language. Several contactees have described the mantis language as a series of clicking sounds
There's the
exchanged
schedule.
between the
Check
creatures.
it out. Bugbot's dropping the schedule.
Could you be a mantis starseed? There are over 800,000 mantis souls incarnated here now. This is a new experience for the race, and it's not an easy one. Many of these starseeds feel completely left out of place here on Earth in a human body. They have felt that if anyone really knew who they were.
So starseeds are like otherkin. And if you don't know what otherkin is, and I used to be more into it back when I was younger, when I did... don't judge me. I did furry art for different message boards, but there were a lot of people that were otherkin that would want me to draw their characters and stuff. I say characters because otherkin is like spiritually cosplaying as a anthropomorphic animal, and I don't believe in anything spiritual as far as that goes. And I don't believe that there's anything in our biology that would cause someone to be... I'm trying to use my terminology delicately. I'm not trying to diss on furries, and I'm not trying to diss on otherkin really either. But otherkin's sort of like a spiritual belief that you have the spirit of an animal. You have to believe in spirits to accept something like that, which I do not. Yeah, but the starseed people it's the same deal, except for they believe that they're one of these members of an alien race that has been projected into a human body. And Mark Reed, while you're responding here, I do want to let you know I have Bugbot programmed to respond to commands, and I do use just exclamation point and then whatever the person wants. So I didn't know if you wanted it to be exclamation point MR. That's fine. If you just wanted it to be exclamation point Mark, but it's gonna have I would put a link to your channel on it. So let me know and drop a link to your channel in the... You got a wrench, so drop the link to the channel in your channel in the side chat, and I will add you to Bugbot's list. Yeah. And Captive Desk, you can drop a link to your channel too, and I'll add you. exclamation point desk would probably be what I'll put you under. Let's get back to Cryptic Corner.
They would run, so they hide their inner truth in some way. It has been a difficult task for their angels and other guys to get them to open up and share what they came to share. Once they do open up, their intensity, art, and ability to know what needs to be done to create the perfect environment is uncanny. They are usually artistic in some sort of way. They are writers, musicians, poets, designers of...
Well, I always thought my mantises were writing poems. Like when I have them on my microphone, maybe that they're sitting there writing psychic poems to me.
Space and events. They have a knack for bringing pieces of the puzzle together and truly making it sing. They are here to use these gifts to infuse a higher frequency into the hearts and environments of the form, sound, and color. They are also a huge help to the new generation of souls being born with advanced DNA as they help them align with their higher potential. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you...
So that's that one. That was, again, the... What is it? The Robert Earl White and the Odor of Light. Yes, which sounds like a Harry Potter book, but... this one's the one that's 3 parts, and I'm gonna speed it up because it's already, I got it at 1.25. I'm gonna turn it up to 1.5 though. All right, so here we go.
Creatures that those involved in the abduction phenomenon have...
Let's rewind it to the beginning here.
Probably one of the strangest creatures that those involved in the abduction phenomenon have come across and reported to UFO researchers has to be the praying mantis insectoid alien. And while there are other types of alien beings or interdimensional beings that are reported more often than the mantis type creature, such as the tall and short gray reptilian type entities, alien human hybrids, hairy or fur covered creatures, and as well as an alien that looks extremely human and that is usually blonde hair and blue eyed, it is usually the praying mantis or the insectoid type alien that has a stranglehold on the imagination and the subconscious of those who were abducted. Oftentimes in the abduction phenomenon, it is a gray alien, especially the short gray alien, that is more of a worker or some kind of a creature that is just doing menial jobs and menial tasks. And while those involved in the abduction phenomenon make the claim that it's the gray aliens, they're usually the ones who are ordering abductees around and telling them what to do during this abduction process, it isn't really just the gray aliens that are working on their own. There can be reptilians or perhaps human-looking aliens, but many times abductees report the fact that the figurehead or the manager or the one that's in charge, delegating all of the orders to all of the tall and short grays, is more often than not a mantis or insectoid type alien. And while gray aliens, tall and short, and reptilians are often the talk of extraterrestrial researchers, not much is ever said or really known about the praying mantis insectoid aliens. Aside from the strange and grotesque look of an 8 to 9 foot tall praying mantis alien creature that you can find as you wake up in the middle of the night in your bedroom as an abductee, or that you can run into during the abduction process while you report some kind of an interdimensional or otherworldly spacecraft, these praying mantis aliens seem to be involved with all of the same things that come with the abduction phenomenon. In fact, there are various statements...
Yeah, so it's just when they say abductee phenomena, they're talking about people that are in their bed and suddenly they're aware that they're not alone and there's entities in their room, and this is what they see. Sometimes they they look at the room that they're in and it's no longer their bedroom, they're on a ship, something like that. There's so much in correlation to this with sleep paralysis and hypnopompic dreaming, to use this as evidence that what they experienced was actually a physical thing. Now, the fact that multiple people experience these giant bug-like beings is kind of interesting, and calls into question what stimuli, I guess I should say, would trigger one to have this experience, but nothing more profound than that, in my opinion.
Made by those who have come into contact with these praying mantis or insectoid-looking creatures. But it seems that for the most part, these praying mantis and insectoid-type creatures are involved with the same types of activities that other types of ETs tend to be dealing with. This would include abductions of people and tampering with human DNA going back hundreds, if not thousands of years. The praying mantis and insectoid creature is also involved in the creation of clones. When they abduct people and take their DNA, they often create a clone of the person they've been abducting, and they seem to track this person over very long periods of time throughout the lifetime of the individual. And also, people who make the claim that they're abducted by this insectoid creature state that the abduction phenomenon is generational within their family. In other words, if a particular person is abducted, it's more than likely that their parents were abductees and that the children will also be taken by these creatures at some point in time. It is also stated by many in the UFO community, especially researchers, that these praying mantis aliens, much like other types of alien creatures, tend to abduct blonde-haired, blue-eyed, or the kind of people who would tend to have a European heritage. It is a theory of UFO researchers that...
So they're racist. Racist aliens are what we're dealing with, because they only want the uber mesh. They only want the blonde hair, blue eyes. I guess that means I'm safe, though. I have this dark hair, and I am pale, though. I am pale. If they like pale people, I'm all about that. But no blonde hair. Just it's kind of it's a dark brown now. It's almost black. Oh no, Sting, that backfired on you, didn't it, Ring?
And abductees, that these praying mantis aliens and other types of alien creatures or interdimensional beings are involved with some kind of a plan to collect as much DNA as possible. The eventual goal of all of these abductions by praying mantis type creatures or other extraterrestrials or interdimensional beings is to create some kind of a alien human hybrid race that could potentially survive some kind of a catastrophic event here on our planet. It is unknown whether or not these types of extraterrestrials are here to help, or if they're involved with some kind of a plot to purposefully and knowingly depopulate the planet of human beings. It's really unknown whether or not these creatures have some kind of an ulterior motive. There are some researchers in the UFO community who claim that all of these abductions that are taking place, whether it's involving mantis or insectoid type creatures...
Mark, Dave, rising tide lifts all ships, right? I need to get Tang added onto that list too. I think I'm just going to do... What do you think? Exclamation point Tang or exclamation point Oz? Maybe we can do exclamation point Oz and it leads to his music, and then exclamation point Tang and lead to the Tang Gang channel and stuff. Do you have a link tree? Anybody who has a link tree, I love link trees, or any other site that collects all your links all together in one place. Maybe Leophilius is a mantis. He has a very long neck. Yeah, he does. Depending on how things go, I might be meeting Leophilius in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Or other gray alien or reptilian type entities, in the long run will not benefit anybody here on planet Earth as an individual or a group, and it will not benefit the overall trajectory of mankind's potential. The fact that these creatures, whether they be mantis or insectoid type aliens or interdimensional beings or other types of entities, can come at will and take people whenever they want and subject them to all types of medical experiments against the person's wanting, shows just how much trouble humanity is in with these creatures.
I don't know, the sound kind of just cuts out.
Hello everyone,
here.
I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com.
Yeah,
Today's topic is a little different. So praying mantis versus alien
already.
mantis. So the question, hi Lynn, I've been seeing a lot of praying mantises in my garden recently. It got me thinking, what is the difference between alien mantis beings and these little insects on Earth? They are fascinating creatures, and I've heard that mantis beings are peaceful. Is that true? What is the relationship between the two? Thank you. So I love this little different of a topic here, and when I focus on the praying mantis, I do see a connection to the alien mantis. I get that the praying mantis is less evolved than the alien.
Less evolved is not a proper term. Less evolved to what? Because evolution, evolution is to a niche, right? Evolution is towards a survival in a certain ecology, right? So there's not less or more evolved. It matters how you adjust to your environment. Humans have one evolution in that regard because we don't adjust to our environment anymore at all. We create micro-environments for ourselves.
It looks as though the praying mantis is a lower density, 3D incarnated form of the alien mantis. That was really odd how it came through to me. And with regards to being peaceful, the praying mantis is much more peaceful than the alien variety, but still has some aggression here. They're fairly harmless to humans, but are quite aggressive to their insect counterparts. They even can be helpful to humans, killing many insects.
Make no mistake, a human-sized praying mantis would devour you. You would not. It wouldn't think twice. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have that advanced of a. Again, someone asked up there about the nervous system of insects. Very simple. That's why I'm able to I'm able to manipulate mantises by controlling their natural responses. So mantises are not smart. Adorable, efficient predators, but no, they're not smart. Spiders are not smart. There are arthropods that I would say that are smart, or at least smart for an arthropod, because arthropods in general are not the brightest bulbs, at least based on what we would consider cognitive ability. They're instinctual automatons for the most part. They don't have too much genetic variety. Yeah, well, I think a mantis would remain harmless to a human up to about the size of a house cat or a monkey. A monkey-sized mantis would be a nightmare. You would not want to tangle with one. It wouldn't be able to kill you, but it'd be like getting attacked by a wildcat. It would slash you with its rectorial arms at that size. It could draw blood just like a cat would. And via the square cube law, it would be pretty dense and heavy when it hit you. It would be, I guess, by more like being hit by a bird of prey of about the same size. So like maybe getting hit by an eagle or a large hawk is what it would be like. So yeah, you wouldn't enjoy it at all.
That can cause harm or destruction. I don't see them attacking or trying to bite a human. It's almost like they know who could be the bigger aggressor. Like, if I go after this human, what are they going to do to me? They have that foresight. They do have keen instincts, and their internal intuition and behavior gives them the feeling of being or needing to be a friend over a foe, because they know that they can be taken out. So it's like they know who's in ultimate.
Hey, blessed be he. I am okay with you talking in the chat. Let's not proselytize. We will get to Creation Watch here shortly after we finish with Cryptic Corner. We are going to be hunting for the Garden of Eden, so you might enjoy that. That might be something you like. Don't troll my. I have a very potent swarm of mods. Their stings are vicious, so please do not troll. Please do not go off topic. Right now we're talking about insectoid aliens. If you do want to engage with Mark, I don't mind, as long as Mark is back and forth with the banter and it doesn't get into any ad hom territory. Let's do that. But I think you will enjoy the next topic if you stick around. We're again visiting the Garden of Eden, or looking for the Garden of Eden. I think you might enjoy. So hang out and enjoy the engagement. I don't like a little spiciness in the side chat, as long as it doesn't get turn into what they used to call a flame war back in the days. Yeah, but I don't mind at all having some friction out there. And thank you, Sandy, for keeping things under control.
Power here, so they succumb and basically don't try to cause harm to humans here on Earth. So then when I started to look at it a little more in this evolution chain, the praying mantis looks to evolve over several incarnations into the alien mantis. I cannot connect to the peacefulness of them, however. I see them as dominant, and this is referring to...
So, wait, are the insectoid praying mantises supposed to be descendant from Earth's mantises? What did they take them and genetically engineer them? Who took them? Who did this to them? Because that's not the path so far for praying mantises. Again, they're solitary ambush predators, not really intelligent, but very efficient on their hunting, and they're actually really bad at fighting too. I don't know if anybody knows this about mantises, but they are poor combatants, which is why when we get to the mantises and Tier Zoo, my ranking compared to Tier Zoo's ranking is probably going to be different.
To the alien ones and controlling. When I've done readings on the inner Earth, I've seen various insectoid, meaning standing upright, kind of humanoid sort of shape, aliens, and they all look to dominate over humans. I have the impression, as a praying mantis, they feel weak, But once they're large and powerful enough to feel strong, they exude their strength and they want to have that power, they want to have that control. And as an alien mantis, they have the ability to do so. So that is coming out on them or in them. So very interesting reading. Thanks so much for the suggestion.
Guys, if you want to, you can definitely message this person. She's like down for it. So you can tag her on Twitter. If you're on any of these, ask her more questions about the alien mantises. Ask some of the questions that I asked. I encourage people to reach out to the folks making these claims about aliens for clarification on the evolutionary process that these beings underwent.
And I really appreciate it. If you have something you want me to look at, please just shoot me a line. I'm happy to put it on my list and have a look at it for future posts. So again, I want to thank you for listening. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, all those great things. It's really helpful to me and to help build my channel. Again, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.
She's shilled. All right, here's another video. Now, there's another one on here, but I'm not going to watch the whole thing. She rambles on for quite a bit. This lady does.
I was watching somebody's
And I'll show you why in just a
and
second.
she's talking about how this is Floorbrun. I don't watch her a lot, you know, and I take it all with a grain of salt, of course, but she hits on some really intriguing notes sometimes. She was real upset in talking about how she's registered that, you know, what's happening with the jab, it's an insectoid invasion inside the body.
There you go. That's about as far as I'm going to go with this lady, because there's the rub. When you hear somebody say the jab, they're talking about is the COVID vaccine. Now, the COVID vaccine, this woman lays out, and we may come back to this at some point when we start, because I am compiling a list of videos of claims about vaccines, not just this vaccine, but any vaccines, to go over at some point about the woo and super tech and all that people think is associated with these, include the mark of the beast, you know, alien technology being included. So I may revisit this this character later. I have her full video saved away to go with this topic. Okay, so we will revisit this at some point. I will probably. I would like to do that with Dr. Ben, so I may have Ben on the Buzz sometime and just do this kind of these kind of claims about vaccines. But there is going to be just one more little section we're gonna watch here, and this is just kind of going to be really it's just going to be a palate cleanser, because this part's kind of funny. And the claims attached to it, and it's taken. You can take it with a grain of salt, but it's good stuff. All right, here we go. This is from the World's Strangest UFO Stories.
I was escorted into another room, and it was filled with babies. And I remember, like, whose babies are these? And he points to me. These are yours. I could not give you a number, but they were stacked from the floor to the ceiling. And they...
Don't you hate that when you're like abducted by aliens and they bring you up on their spaceship and they're like, here's all your babies, and here's your back child support payments.
They were all in the room. Could have been a couple of hundred babies there for all I know. There were just so many.
Dave Huggins has an earthly, human son too. Michael has grown up surrounded by his father's alien stories.
When we're kids, you know.
Mark, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't go to a insectoid alien party and don't get naked. It's rude.
We think a lot differently about aliens visiting Earth, and we would talk about it a lot. And all my friends really just loved it. Well, if it happened, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, if aliens are just coming down out of nowhere saying, hey, I want to have sex with you, I mean, that's a pretty big compliment to my dad.
But there is still one question he has never had a convincing explanation for.
Why do you think that, of all the people on the planet, you were chosen to father all these children?
because he's a sexy beast. Do you see this guy? Look at that freaking beard. I don't know. His son's got those genes and he's not growing a beard like that. I don't know. Is he even living his life? Turn the volume up. Absolutely. There we go.
Michael, I have no idea.
Should be better now.
Except maybe something is happening with their race. I know one thing. You've got a lot of half-brothers and half-sisters someplace. No idea where they are, but you do have them.
It's easy to dismiss these stories as absurd.
Mark, you misunderstand. I definitely wasn't telling you that you could that you couldn't engage with Blessed Be. Yeah, force Blessed Be to back up their claims about his fire that burns inside of us. I don't have any fire inside of me. I think what Blessed Be, or what's the name? I don't want to mispronounce your name here. What was your name? Did you get bumped? Did you? Looks like around and found out Ring pulled the trigger, and I trust Ring to pull the trigger. You have been taught stories as truth within you. You have forgotten. No. So this is the, God in your heart crap. Okay. No, I don't. And I think that what you think is God is your cognitive reactions, the synapses firing in your brain and releasing different chemicals to make you have that feeling. Because the feeling that you get at church, honey, when you're dancing around and the Holy Spirit is on you. I know girls that feel that at an NSYNC concert, baby. So it's not what you think it is. Sorry.
After all, Alice and Dave have no physical evidence despite hundreds of encounters.
Is that Math Pig? I was talking about you earlier,
what might
babe.
explain these alien baby claims? Well, they could have been suggested by science fiction. It's been full of alien human breeding programs for decades. As early as 1925, a version of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds was rewritten to include the creation of Earthling-Martian hybrids. Some skeptics think these accounts might meet a deep psychological need.
Abductees as a group, and indeed people...
I don't know why if I put just mathpig.com in there, it doesn't hyperlink it. It's weird. So yeah, that's what I get. Mathpig does have all his links there at that though. You have to copy and paste it though. It's not hyperlinking it for some reason. Maybe you have to put the www, but it looks boomer if I put www before it. It looks totally boomer when I do that. Like I'm giving a website on a daytime TV commercial where they think they have to say www before.
Who report a range of other paranormal experiences tend to report trauma during childhood. It may be that these particular psychological characteristics have actually developed as a defense mechanism.
Nobody watches this show to feel feelings. That's probably true about this show too. We watch CryptoCorner just for fun, right? It's a fun show. But that was our dive into the insectoid aliens, specifically the mantis beings, though they seem to come in different varieties of green, white, and black. So there's that. And they did not, the stuff I pulled up here did not include a lot on the Hopi ant people, because that's just it's mythology, right? There's no actual connection to these insect aliens. People are just drawing those connections. There was also the Myrmidon, or Myrmidite. They're Greek. They were the Greek servants of Achilles, I believe, that were ant people in Greek mythology as well. So these social industrious creatures were definitely anthropomorphized, and the idea of ones that live in the same kind of culture on a massive scale in some far off land was not, there was no case against that. So yeah, that was Cryptic Corner. Let me know if you're watching this on Friday with the gang. What you think? Yeah, there you go. Ring's got it. Myrmidons. Absolutely. Otherwise, please remember to be kind and take care, and we will see you next time. All right, now I'm going to go into first intermission, so do please sit back and enjoy. I believe this is the first intermission. Did I have it as... It might, I think this, yeah, this is the remastered version of R and Ra's reading of the 8th Plague for my 8th Plague Locust video. If you hadn't watched that, it's like one of the first edited videos that I put together. It's really rough, but this intro that I made to it was choice. I did remaster it with balancing the audio out a little bit better and trying to make the animation consistent across it. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna go into intermission now, and when I come back we will be jumping into Creation Watch. So I'll see you all in about 2 minutes.
Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, so that they may come into the land of Egypt and eat every plant in the land, all that the hail has left." So Moses stretched out his staff over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought up an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. When it was morning, the east wind had brought up the locusts. The locusts came up all over the land of Egypt and settled on the whole country of Egypt. Such a dense swarm of locusts as had never been seen before, nor ever will be seen again. They covered the face of the whole land, so that the land was darkened, and they ate all the plants in the land, and all the fruit of the trees that the hail had left.